Hello, my dear student. So, I am your computer teacher for this academic year. Are you excited to learn from me? I expect yes only as answer, but no worry, even if the answer is not so, I have reason to convert your no to yes. And gradually, after learning from me, definitely you will love this subject and find it interesting. So, my very first argument is you won't find computer talk anymore because I have created an entire platter ready. You just need to come, eat, and enjoy. So, what I mean here is, with great effort, I have searched for good PPT template and added text, images, figure in that PPT. For better understanding, as PPT get ready, I have to record it in one of the best video recorder and then editing that video with some good software even. Then finally I can upload this video on YouTube with optimization. That also time consuming process. Now my question is, what you have to do then? You just have to listen it and gain the knowledge from me. Feeling relaxed? Chalo, so the dish is served and the platter is ready. Let's eat it together. I mean, let's study together. Here, let me brief you with the syllabus. So here you can see GSEB Standard 9 Computer Textbook is divided into total 14 chapters. Our syllabus is just divided into 4 parts. That is basic of computer. That is very easy even. Then we will get familiar with the operating system called Ubuntu Linux. You all are quite familiar with Windows operating system. In Standard 9, we will also get familiar with the Ubuntu Linux operating system. Then we will see word processing and presentation that need little practice as well as practical exposure. And lastly, we will learn about the internet, that is worldwide system of computer network, or you can say internet is network of networks. So without wasting time, we will quickly start our very first chapter, that is introduction to computer. In this video lecture, we are going to cover introduction to multipurpose computer. Then we will proceed to our very next topic, that is working of a typical computer. Here we will see how does computer work. Then we will see application of computer in various fields. Then we will see simple model of a computer. Here we will get familiar with basic component of a computer, that is input unit, memory, control unit and output unit. Then we will study about the characteristic and advantage of a computer. And lastly, we will see few basic terms like software, hardware and firmware. Here, first thing you can see, computer are multi-purpose machine. Within the last few decades, computer has been recognized as the most life-changing and successful invention, solving a variety of problems in human life in various fields. Computer have changed the way we live, work and communicate. Here you can see in the diagram, computer is useful in various sectors, whether it is industry sector, government, education, research, as well as entertainment. We can see the influence and application of computer everywhere. From routine business activity in a given area to a particular task means whatever difficult task you give, computer can do it. Computer can do whatever we tell them to do. While listening to music, you can type a letter or paint a picture in a computer. So from editing to entertainment, whatever work you tell the computer to do, it will do it for you. You can say that make the computer multi-purpose machine. Now we will proceed to our very next topic, that is working of a typical computer. Just as a calculator calculate, a driver drive, and a painter paint, computer compute. The computer word is derived from a Latin word, compute. The computing here is not restricted to only mathematical computing, but to a variety of logic-based tasks. As you can see here in these images, you can use computer to solve mathematical formulas as well as logic-based problems like solving puzzle, playing game and all using your logic. One only need to systematically design step by step clear guidelines for the task to be solved, and this guideline generally written in simple English language are called algorithm. Computer once given proper set of instructions, then it can perform various operations like generating bills, reserving ticket, printing mark sheet, printing business report, or communicating message. Earlier, computer was dealing with simple text and number only. But nowadays you can work out with audio, video, graph and animation beside text and number. This is gonna be the great time to learn about the working of a computer. So let's start with a real life example for better understanding. Take an example of ATM machine that we can use to withdraw our cash. First of all, we insert our ATM card, that is an input data for a machine. Then we will write the PIN number, that is also an input. As we give our PIN number, it check our PIN number is valid or not. So it will remember the data and compare it. That is nothing else than a processing. If it is matched, then it will further continue. Now we will enter the amount to be withdrawn. That also work like an input to a machine, right? It automatically count the money. So counting as a processing. And finally, that machine will give us the amount we require as an output. So here we can say that the computer takes in some input in the form of data as well as step-by-step instruction. It then does some processing or perform computation on it. And finally, it generates result or perform any action in the form of output. This is also known as IPO cycle or input process output cycle. Let's understand each of them. First is input. Input is a combination or set of data and instruction provided by a user to the computer. Here I will explain what is a data and what is an instruction with one simple example. Suppose you want to do multiplication of any two numbers, say 5 and 7. You are giving number 5 and 7 and instruct the computer or you guide the computer to do some mathematical calculation on this number 5 and 7. So here data is your two numbers, that is 5 and 7, and what instruction you are giving, that is multiplication of these two numbers. Once the computer receives the input, it does the processing on this input data as per instruction given by you. And then computer present the result to the user, that is display on the monitor screen, or it could be printed on the paper. The result is called an output. The computer can also store the result in the memory for future use. Here now we will see store program concept in detail. It is not compulsory to repeat the instruction and large amount of data every time we use the computer. We can store the data and instruction within the computer itself in such a way that can be understood by machine. So here, whatever data and instruction you have to store it in the memory of the computer itself and in the format that can be understood by machine, that is machine readable language. Once the set of instruction in machine readable format called program is stored in the computer, it may be used many times with different set of data. This concept is known as store program concept. In short, if you want to execute any instruction, you have to bring that instruction or program into the memory of the computer, then only it will get executed. Here we will see application of computer. We can use computer for ticket reservation, for bank operation, inventory management and manufacturing support, in entertainment, as well as in teaching line, financial accounting, corresponding and publishing, space application, robotic, email and chatting, as well as website development. Now here we will see the simple model of a typical computer is based on whatever we did in the working of a computer. First of all, instructions are needed to make computer perform some action. To obey such instruction provided by the user and perform computation, a computer need to have a mechanism to input, that is input mechanism. The input mechanism help in feeding or accepting data as well as instruction into the computer. This mechanism is also called input unit. The input unit consists of input devices that are attached to the computer. The devices used for the input purpose are called input device. Typically, input devices such as mouse and keyboard are commonly used for this purpose. Once the information is entered into the computer by the input device, such input mechanism is stored in the memory of the computer and further processed by a mechanism called processing unit or processor, that is the brain of the computer. Results are presented to the user through output mechanism called output unit. Typically, output devices are monitor and printer. In short, input, memory, processor, and output are the basic component of a typical computer. Now we will see the basic component of a computer, that is input unit, memory and control unit, and output unit. So here we will see input unit first. The input device provides a facility to enter data and instruction into the computer. Input mechanisms support many devices such as keyboard, mouse, joystick that commonly used to play games even. Barcode readers, universal serial bus devices, hard disk, and compact disc. Different input devices take data in different form and send it to the computer memory. Keyboard is the most common input device. Use of keyboard to enter data and instruction is very much similar to the use of a typewriter. Earlier, keyboard was connected to the computer via cable. Now, as the technology has advanced, we can connect a keyboard using Bluetooth even. Another way to input data is reading through barcode reader. The barcode is the data that is coded into white and black lines, and that line can be read by barcode reader. Barcode reader is normally seen as super store. When you purchase a product, the shopkeeper uses a small device and press a button on that device. With the sound of a beep, the barcode printed on a tag of the product pack is read and copied to the computer in order to generate a bill. Mouse is also used to input data into computer, commonly known as pointing device. Mouse is a device that controls movement of the pointer or the cursor. Most of the input device take input, convert the data into machine readable form, or you can say binary language that the computer understands. Once the input is collected via input devices, the input is needed to be stored into the computer memory. Computer memory retain data, instruction, and process output for a while, that is for short duration, or it can store it for a long time. There are two types of computer memory, primary memory and secondary memory. We will see in detail. First and foremost difference between primary memory and secondary memory is primary memory is directly accessed by the CPU, whereas secondary memory is not accessed directly by the CPU. Instead of that, data accessed from a secondary memory is first loaded into the RAM and is then sent to the CPU. Take an example of pen drive. If you want to access the data of pen drive, that is secondary storage device, it can't be accessed directly by the CPU. So that data first need to be loaded into RAM and then it is sent to the CPU. So secondary memory is slower in accessing data compared to the primary memory. Primary memory is the faster memory as it is directly accessed by CPU. Some computer memories are capable of remembering the content for a very short duration, say till the work is in progress or when there is a continuous supply of power. Such memory is called volatile memory. Such memory forms the primary storage of a computer. Hence, it is known as primary memory. It is also known as temporary memory or main memory. The input from different device goes first to the main memory and will retain into the memory electronically. The content will remain in the main memory till the computer is switched off. When the computer is switched off or reset, the content will be lost. As primary memory provides limited space only and the data is stored on the temporary basis. But to preserve the content for a long time, we need secondary or auxiliary storage. The secondary storage memory is not volatile and content can be preserved for a long time. Here, non-volatile means it can hold on its data with or without electric power supply. Devices that use secondary memory are called secondary storage device. Hard disk and compact disk are the most popular secondary storage device. Unlike the primary memory, the secondary storage is non-volatile, means it will store your data permanently, whether it gets the electricity or not. And it's lower because it is not directly accessed by CPU. Secondary storage device is less expensive and it stores larger amount of data compared to primary memory. Here we will see CPU. As we all know, CPU is the brain of the computer. So all the data processing and important functions are performed by the CPU. As shown in the diagram, input is given to the CPU through input device. As you can see here, CPU consists of three units, CU or you can say control unit, ALU, arithmetic logic unit, and the memory unit. Initially, the input goes to memory and the control unit which manage the execution of instruction and control operation of other component of the computer get instruction from the memory. And if we want to perform operation on such input data like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division as well as logical based operation, then the control unit transfer it to the ALU, that stands for arithmetic logic unit. Now ALU perform various operations. After that, the final result gets stored in a memory and finally passed to output device to give the output. So this is how the CPU works. Output device return processed data, that is information, back to the user. The output unit is normally a visual screen called monitor. Monitor is the main output device and it looks like a TV screen. The monitor actually refers to a whole box of the visual output mechanism of a computer. Display screen is a part of the monitor. Many times we use monitor and display screen as a synonyms. Here monitor and display screen mean the same. The older monitor used to provide black, white and grey shade output, which usually were the text and number. Presently, color monitor that are capable of presenting variety of information such as high quality graphic and animation are available in market. Here now we will see. To output sound, special devices such as speaker and headphone are used. To print the output, printer are used. Or output is directly published on the website or sent as a file with the help of internet. Now we will see the characteristic of computer that describe the efficiency of the machine to execute the given task. Hence, these characteristics are also known as efficiency-oriented characteristic. First one is automation. This word itself suggests that computer does not need any human intervention. Without human intervention, computer can do many work and in a speedy way. Computer can automatically perform a given task. Once data and necessary instruction are stored into the computer memory, human intervention is not required. Some jobs such as searching from a large database or from internet are nearly impossible without such automation. Next one is accuracy. One of the basic advantages of computer is that it will perform not only complex arithmetic and logic calculation but also with highest accuracy. Properly designed computer provide highly accurate result. However, if you as a user are giving bad input, garbage input, definitely you will get the garbage output. That is known as GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Next is long-term storage. As you know very well, the computer has an inbuilt primary memory where you can store your data. In case if you want to store large or great amount of data, then you can go for secondary storage that can store large amount of data and that also for long time. The store content can be recalled or you can get it back whenever you request it. Next is ability to perform mechanical and repetitive tasks. Computer can perform same mechanical tasks in a consistent manner. They do not possess human-oriented limitations such as loss of interest, liking, physical capacity like tiredness or boredom, which are quite common among humans. So here, if I will give some work, you may get tired after few minutes or few hours, right? And you may lose interest or liking. But computer will never give such excuses to me that now I'm bored or I'm tired. Never. Here next point is programmability. Computer can be programmed to execute predefined set of instructions. Writing program once and executing it many times save a lot of time and cost. The program once written can be modified later for the revised task. Therefore, computers are versatile or you can say multi-purpose or multitasking machine. It can perform any activity, just you need to provide step-by-step program. Now here we will see few terms. Here we will see hardware. The hard entities such as keyboard, mouse, CPU and other peripheral devices are considered as a physical entities and hence called hardware. Hardware is also known as physical part of a computer. As we know very well, computer is a multi-purpose machine and cannot perform any task on its own. It needs data and step-by-step machine understandable instruction to perform the intended task. This set of instruction is called program. Development of the program become easier if a step-by-step guidelines to solve a given task called algorithm is designed. So you have to design the algorithm, then only you can give the instruction in a proper way. The logic prepared for getting the given task done using an algorithm. So algorithm is nothing. You are writing your logic so that you can get your task. And that logic you are writing using algorithm is known as software. Here, software refer to organized collection of computer programs data, and related documentation about the computer program. So here we can conclude that set of instructions make a program, whereas set of program make a software. And here we will see the last term for today's lecture. Firmware is simply a type of software used to control specific hardware device. Or we can say that software that is closely integrated or coupled with that particular hardware only is known as firmware. The software is embedded with that particular hardware, usually give us the facility how we will use it, what is the application of that hardware, so we can control that specific hardware. It also provides essential instructions so that the hardware device can communicate or work with various other hardware. Such firmware are developed by the hardware manufacturing company and provided free when one purchases such hardware. For example, washing machine, traffic light, digital camera, microwave oven have some such software program inbuilt for that specific hardware device. So chapter number 1 get over here. So that is all for the day. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned in for the next video.